She said, my name's Kelli Mitchel. I'm a senior estimator at Hensel Phelps Construction Company. We are a nationwide commercial contractor. We do about $4 billion worth of business a year. We are nationwide, but also we are in Guam, and we've done some work in South Africa, Germany, England. So we dabble every once in a while internationally. But my journey on this path in construction started when I was a little kid. And I used to tag along with my grandfather, who was a welder. And I would tag along on pipeline jobs and be his little helper. And that was back before they would frown on little kids being on the job site. So that was a long time ago. As I progressed in school and everything, I never ever thought about construction as being my career. It wasn't ever presented to us. You know, we were always pushed in the direction of the traditional female roles, and oh, you need to be a teacher, nurse, cosmetology, and so when I got into high school, you know, I was really pushing math and science, and I really was driven toward those areas, but kept having this conflict of people pushing me the other direction. But I also had this creative side, so I kind of, okay. So when I went to college, I started thinking, okay, marketing. I was going to go marketing because it was business related, but it was also creative. First couple of weeks of college was like, this is so not it. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I ended up landing in interior design. And in the first couple of classes we had to take in interior design, they made us take drafting. And so I ended up in the construction department taking drafting classes, and I had the most wonderful professor because he sat there in my ear every day going, we need women in construction. We need women in construction, Kelli. What are you doing over there? You need to be over here. And he pestered me for the whole first year. And finally I was like, yeah, why am I not over there? Because that's what I liked. And so I switched, and I found a home. And I was the only woman in my classes. And I graduated with 2 women when we walked across the stage in our program. And the crazy thing about it is that hasn't changed very much. You go back to my program, and I graduated from Colorado State University. I grew up in Colorado. Our program, even though we've got a lot more women interested in it, the program grows as a whole. There's more men and there's more women, but the percentage is still about the same. And as we talked about it, it's like even though we have a lot more women we're recruiting with our company, the percentage is still 10%. And so I really, really encourage you, as you get into this business, to reach backwards to the young ladies that are coming up from high school, junior high, even elementary school, that career fairs, things like that, to get out there and reach out to them because they just don't know the path is there. It is such a rewarding career. Where else do you get to see at the end of the day what you have created? My sister works for IBM, and I give her a hard time all the time about, how do you know when your project's done? And she's like, it's just done. And I'm like, well, what do you have to show for it? And she's like, it's just done. And I'm like, I have a building. I can drive by it. There is nothing cooler in the world than when your dad calls you, and he's like, I worked on the DFW People Mover. My dad calls me and he goes, I'm on your train. And I'm like, sweet. And he's like, this is really cool. And then he's telling everybody in the background, my daughter built this. So my path, when I got out of school, I wanted to build bridges. And Hensel Phelps, luckily, was building bridges at the time. So I really, really pressed on them that I wanted to go build a bridge. So that's what brought me to Texas, and I've been now in Texas for 20 years. I worked on the I-30 bridge through downtown Dallas, right in front of the Cotton Bowl. I worked on DART light rail. I've worked on airports. I've worked on hospitals. I've been all over the country. I worked on Samsung Semiconductor Fab 1. The rest of you can have the other fabs. That's a challenge. But it is just an absolutely wonderful, wonderful business to be in. It has been hard. And I have to thank all of my professors who prepared me, because they said, we need women in this industry, but this industry is not prepared for women. And they let me know how hard it was going to be. So when I came out of school, I knew not to be the know-it-all college kid. I knew to listen and to speak only when I knew all the facts, which has prepared me well through my career. It's still challenging. There's still people out there that don't think women belong in this industry. It's staying calm, like Kent said, staying calm, level head, no screamers. You get a lot of respect once you prove you know what you're talking about. So continuing education, LEED certification, DBIA certification, any additional education you can go, keep improving yourself, because every piece of knowledge you have, it flows out to everybody else in how you present yourself. And you gain so much respect from the community by knowing what you're talking about and not faking it. If you're passionate about it, it comes easy. And I just wish you all the best of luck. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact any one of us, because we'd be happy to answer your questions.
Awesome. Well, love that. If you're passionate about it, it comes easy. It's awesome.